So that's a question we get from a lot of different readers, a lot of different emailers to our blog. So how do I meet girls during COVID? So the way you should look at it is, it's not really any different than it was before. It's just that there's another variable. So say you're meeting girls regularly when COVID wasn't there. You have them in the streets, in bookstores, coffee shops, grocery stores, online. You have all these options, right? But now, just because there's COVID, now you just have to have an extra problem with masks, a little bit of distance issues and things like that. But you can actually use this COVID as a screening tool also. So, for example, say a girl's walking around without a mask. What would you think would be better? Would you rather approach her with a mask or without a mask? And then vice versa. If a girl's walking around with a mask, would you rather approach her without a mask or with a mask? So this all comes down to calibration. So meeting girls during COVID isn't that big of a difference from when you meet girls normally, but you have to make sure you adjust to the circumstances. So to answer the question I said before, if a girl's not wearing a mask, it might be better to not wear a mask also and match her kind of frame with it. So if she's not wearing a mask, she might not care too much about COVID, but when you wear the mask, she's gonna think, oh yeah, I forgot about this, and be more resistant to you. But if you're just dressed the same way she is, you'll be able to get into a more comfortable opening. And second, say the girl's wearing a mask and you're not, you're probably going to scare her away, because if she's wearing a mask, then she's concerned about this. Maybe she has a relative, maybe she's afraid of it for herself, maybe she has some kind of disease that you don't know about, who knows, right? So the best way to approach that girl is to have a mask on. So you want to adjust your circumstances to COVID. And we've been, like my roommate and I and people that I've been coaching, they've been meeting girls in coffee shops, bars, everywhere. Like, bars are still open. You might not be able to go and stand up and do things there, but you can still meet people at their tables and you wear a mask. So now I want to talk about how to calibrate the approach for during COVID, okay? So say you're walking down the street, and ideally you want to be in either an area with a large concentration of young people, or an area that has a large concentration of people overall. And what you're going to do is, you're going to make eye contact with people. So if you can't do that already, you should work on that. Make eye contact with people that you're walking down the street. Like, not in an aggressive way, but just look them in the eye. And when they look at you back, you can make a head motion or something, just to get comfortable with the fact that looking at someone's not abnormal. So when you're keeping your eyes open and looking at people, you will notice girls looking at you also. And this is the perfect time to establish, will this girl open well? So if you look at her and she looks at you back, why wouldn't you go and talk to her? She obviously is giving you a nonverbal signal that she wants to be talked to. So now you can actually, what people forget to do is they kind of walk sideways and the girl's walking this way. Instead you want to walk kind of head on towards her. And then say something when you're about maybe like a couple feet away and calibrate to her response. If she responds very negatively, why would you continue the interaction? Obviously, if she wasn't actually that interested in talking to you, let her go. You don't want any drama, especially now. And if she's opening well and smiles, well, you can't really see a smile under the mask, but say her eyes light up and you go and talk to her, now you just opened an interaction during this time, and it's going to be very, very smooth, and she'll think you're a smooth guy as well. But for example, say a girl walks by you, or you're walking towards a girl and she avoids you. These are all just indications that you're just going to save yourself any kind of embarrassment or any kind of public scandal by just avoiding these interactions that would not have gone anywhere in the first place. So pick your targets carefully. When you see someone who's showing you interest back, you have to do it. Just because of coronavirus, like, who cares? Like, she's giving you a signal to go talk to her. If she's not wearing a mask, don't have a mask. If she has a mask, put on your mask and go and make something happen. So that's an excellent question, and it carries forward from what we just talked about before. So how do I make my approaches more effective? It's how you do them in the beginning stages that sets the tone for how it goes for the rest of them, okay? So let's give you an example. So we all, I guess not everyone knows, but nonverbals are much more important for attraction than the verbals, okay? And you have to be really close paying attention to how the girl's reacting to you, especially in the beginning. So say you make a statement and you're about 5 feet away from the girl, and you kind of get her attention because she's not actually looking at you. When she looks up, you can see on her face how comfortable or uncomfortable she is. So as you get closer and closer, seeing that level of discomfort in her eyes will really tell you how far you can go. Say she's not looking uncomfortable at all, you can actually get pretty close to her face on the actual opener where you have so much tension that it starts out so powerfully. That's that like love at first sight kind of feeling, where you had the confidence to go right into her personal space because you could tell that she wanted you to and start a very powerful interaction. But you have to remember, you have to be very careful, you have to be really aware. So say a girl's looking at you in the eye and you're walking towards her and you see a slight bit of discomfort. Would it be an intelligent move to push it and actually get even closer? Of course not. That way you're going to make her uncomfortable and lose that moment that you had. So sometimes you might accidentally go a little bit too far, but it's okay. Just stop right there, pause, and say your opener, keep the conversation going. She might take a step back. It's no big deal. As things get kind of more loose and more flowing between you guys, you can close that distance again. So how do you make your approaches more effective? It's by seeing how the girl's reacting to you and what her facial expressions are and her body language is, and calibrating appropriately. If she's giving you positive signals, don't worry about this whole thing of, oh, I can't chase the girl or anything. It's your job as the man to close proximity to make things happen. So if she's showing you positive indicators of interest, she's like very excited to talk to you. She during the silences, you can tell she's reacting to you. She's blushing, etc. You have to step in and make the move. You can't expect her to. So to make your approaches more effective, in summary, make sure the beginning is very effective by calibrating to her reaction. And when she responds positively, move things forward physically and by proximity and leading to another location, say an instant date. So this is a very, very common question and concern that a lot of guys have on their dates about why it doesn't feel like you and the girl have that special connection. Like you guys are laughing together, getting along great, everything seems to go really, really smoothly, and she's kind of following you where you want to go, going on a date, and like it feels like it's pretty good from the outside. But on the inside, when you're in the interaction with her, it doesn't feel like there's that spark, that sexual tension. And there's actually just one solid reason why. It's that you're too predictable. She knows that you like her too much. There's no uncertainty for her. So when you think of sexual tension, what really is it? Is it just that boy and girl like each other a lot and now it's just completely just moving forward? Not quite. You want her to actually wonder, does he actually like me that much? Like how much does he like me? And that all comes down to your facial expressions and the way you behave with her. If you're constantly making jokes and constantly laughing together, she kind of just knows, she can do that with her friends, right? There's no real uncertainty there. But say that sometimes there are pauses and you just look at her, or while she's talking, you just kind of look at her and don't respond, and you don't give her any kind of positive feedback. So say you ask her a question and she answers it. If you look at her like that, she's not going to know. You're not giving her the positive feedback of nodding your head. You're not laughing, smiling. She's now getting into her head, and you'll notice, it's so interesting to watch this happen. When you're on a date with a girl and you actually use that facial expression, she actually starts talking more and not letting there be a pause. And once there's a pause, she'll actually blush and feel really nervous because she has no idea what you're thinking. And she doesn't know that you're actually just not thinking about anything. You're just looking at her. So use those things to your advantage. I know you've probably been told in the past, hey, be fun, joke around with her, touch her in all these different places. But that's just that's a little kid's game, right? What she's really attracted to is your masculine energy. And the masculine energy is very silent. It's more calm, more obviously to start an interaction, it's really hard to just be really silent. But when you already have her interested in you, all you have to do is build that tension up. And the tension's not built through joking around and messing around, accidentally ending up in the house together, right? And if you focus on this different aspect of tension, you'll notice a lot better results in your dates. So if it doesn't feel on, you have to make it on by making her less certain of how much she likes you, or how much you like her actually. And if it doesn't work, say you try these tension tactics and she keeps on blowing them off, maybe it's a little bit too late, or maybe that girl was just wasting your time. A lot of girls, they love attention from guys. And hey, attention from girls is great too, and attention from guys to a girl is great, but that means that she never really saw you as a sexual candidate in the first place. So by using that little tension exercise, you can find out if she's actually interested in you or not, and you can find out, should I cut off this date or keep it going? So remember, as a man of abundance, you can leave at any time. If a girl's not going to give you 50% back, what's the point of wasting your time, right? Say you hold her hand, she has to squeeze it back. If she hugs you, she should hug you back tightly. If she's not doing that, you can tease her about it, but that can only go so far. So if you've ever had a girlfriend or had dates in the past, and you think back at how the date was, you remember she helped you. You guys worked together as a team to make this really happen, instead of you just kind of forcing it the whole time. It's never going to feel authentic. You're going to hate it and she's going to hate it. So when you meet a girl that really, really gives you 50% back, that's so magical, you'll always be looking for that. So remember, be a man of abundance. Don't force the girl who's not interested into liking you. Save your time, find another one, or focus on your passions instead of that girl.